Picture this. You just scored the biggest salary bump of your entire life. You're celebrating, calling your family, and you promise yourself, okay, this is it. Now everything changes. I'm finally going to save some real money and get financially free. But then, fast forward 6 months, you check your bank account, and honestly, it looks exactly the same. That bigger paycheck, it's completely vanished. And look, it's not because you lost your job or had some massive, unexpected medical emergency. It's simply because your lifestyle grew right alongside your income. You know the drill. A slightly bigger apartment, a newer car, those premium subscriptions, maybe a few luxury vacations, and eating out at nicer places. Without even realizing it, every single raise just became another excuse to spend a little more. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the source material to unpack one of the most silent, yet totally devastating financial traps out there.
Which brings us to a seriously wild question. Why on earth do so many six-figure earners still feel totally broke? I mean, we're talking about millions of people pulling in massive salaries who are somehow still living paycheck to paycheck. Mathematically, how is that even possible? Well, it boils down to this incredibly common psychological cycle. The money comes in, and the money immediately flies right back out to fund this new, upgraded reality.
Section 1. The Lifestyle Inflation Trap.
So this trap basically creates a super dangerous illusion. It makes you feel like you're moving up in the world because all your stuff is getting nicer. But on paper, you're actually just working harder and harder while staying exactly as broke. Just think back to the very first paycheck you ever earned. It felt absolutely incredible, right? Even a really small amount of money made you feel like you were rich, mainly because your baseline was just zero. Now compare that feeling to what you're making today. You're probably earning way more than you did at that first job. But somehow, it just doesn't feel like enough. Why is that? It's because while your income went up, your expectations went right up with it. The second we start earning more, we just naturally start upgrading our lives. The better phone, the bigger TV, the nicer neighborhood. And the tricky part is, none of these purchases seem dangerous on their own. They actually feel deserved. You worked hard for this stuff. But the real danger is that every single upgrade establishes a brand new normal. That expensive weekend coffee, it just becomes your daily coffee. The luxury apartment is now just your standard baseline. And going back, that feels completely impossible.
Let's put this into perspective with a quick, real-world example. Imagine two friends, and they both just got the exact same promotion at work. They each get a clean $2,000 bump in their monthly pay.
Now our first friend, the spender, immediately absorbs that whole $2,000 right into their lifestyle. They lease a luxury car, they upgrade to a bigger place, and they start hitting up all the fancy restaurants. Within a few months, that extra $2,000 is just gone, vanished. Now let's look at the second friend, the saver. They decide to live exactly the way they did before the promotion. Instead of upgrading all their stuff, they invest that extra income, they beef up their emergency fund, and they aggressively pay down debt. Fast forward 5 years, both of these friends earn the exact same amount of money, but their lives, they look completely different. One owns a bunch of expensive stuff that's rapidly losing value, while the other owns investments that just keep growing. The difference here literally wasn't about their income. It was 100% about their behavior.
Section 2. The hedonic treadmill effect.
So why does that new car smell of excitement wear off so incredibly fast? You buy the dream car, you can't stop grinning, you're taking photos, you finally feel like you've made it. But give it a few weeks, and that excitement just kind of fades. The car that felt so extraordinary just becomes, well, normal. Psychologists actually have a name for this. It's called the hedonic treadmill. Basically, no matter how much your life improves, your brain is hardwired to adapt quickly. Yesterday's ultimate luxury simply turns into today's baseline expectation. And once something feels normal, your brain instantly starts hunting for the next upgrade, the newer car, the bigger house, the next promotion. The finish line is just constantly moving further away. And that is exactly why someone earning $50,000 a year can feel broke, while someone earning $500,000 a year can also feel like they don't have enough. You're running faster, you're earning more, you're sweating it out, but just like on a real treadmill, you aren't actually moving an inch forward financially.
Section 3. Social media and status. Just imagine opening up your favorite social app right now. Within 30 seconds, you're seeing someone driving a luxury car, someone else lounging on a tropical beach, and someone flexing a designer watch. It honestly looks like everyone around you is getting insanely rich, except for you. But here's the reality. Advertisements rarely sell products anymore. They sell status. What you are definitely not seeing on social media are the massive loans, the credit card debt, the crippling monthly payments, and all the financial stress hiding just outside the frame of those perfect photos. But your brain doesn't know that. It compares your real, messy, everyday life to someone else's heavily curated highlight reel.
And this social comparison creates this immense, heavy pressure to upgrade your own life just so you don't feel left behind. Companies know exactly how this works. They're selling you the person you could become, which makes spending a deeply emotional reaction rather than a logical decision.
Section 4. Escaping the golden handcuffs.
To actually break out of this trap, we have to really rethink what success looks like in modern life. Imagine someone who earns $60,000 a year, but they only spend $40,000 and they save all the rest. Now, picture a second person pulling in $250,000 a year. Who's wealthier? Most of us instantly point to the person making the $250,000. But what if that high earner is spending almost every single penny on private schools, luxury cars, fine dining, and premium club memberships?
Here is the crucial takeaway. For that high earner, every single raise and promotion just created another massive financial obligation. From the outside looking in, they look incredibly successful, but inside, they are completely trapped. Financial experts call this having the golden handcuffs. You've basically built a lifestyle so incredibly expensive that you can literally no longer afford to slow down. You can't just quit your job. You can't take a risk and start a business. You definitely can't take a career break. Why? Because every single month, those massive bills are sitting there waiting for you. Your high salary isn't giving you freedom anymore, it's keeping you chained to the very lifestyle you built.
And this creates one of the biggest financial illusions of our entire generation: looking rich versus being rich. Take a walk through any really expensive neighborhood. You'll see gorgeous homes, luxury SUVs, flawless landscaping. It definitely looks like wealth. And hey, sometimes it is, but very, very often it's just really expensive spending. Real wealth is usually completely invisible. It's the stacked investment account that nobody ever sees. It's the fully funded emergency fund that nobody is posting on Instagram. It's the completely paid off debt that gets no applause. People who look rich spend their money to display success through highly visible liabilities. But wealthy people, they invest their money to create invisible future freedom through assets that compound over time.
So next time you get a raise or a bonus, try flipping the script. Don't ask, what can I buy? Instead, ask yourself, what can I build? Simply making more money is never going to automatically make you wealthy, not unless you intentionally control exactly what happens after that cash hits your account. You have to learn to split those raises. Sure, put a little toward upgrading your lifestyle, you earned it. But you have to funnel a significant, intentional portion straight into your savings and investments. That way, your quality of life actually gets better without sabotaging your future wealth.
Section 5. Rules for real wealth.
All right, to make absolutely sure you never get caught in this inflation trap, let's walk through 5 super actionable rules. Rule number 1, every single time your income goes up, increase your investments first. Literally, pay your future self before you pay for your lifestyle. Rule number 2, don't buy things just to impress other people. Think about it. The people you're trying to impress usually stop caring about your new purchase in about 5 minutes, but you're going to be stuck paying it off for years. Rule number 3, keep your needs separate from your rewards. Definitely celebrate your success, absolutely. Just don't turn every single win into a permanent new monthly subscription or payment. Rule number 4, and this is a huge one, measure your success by your savings rate, not your salary. Making 80 grand and saving 30% of it builds so much more wealth than making 250 grand and saving absolutely nothing. And finally, rule number 5, never upgrade your lifestyle faster than you're upgrading your wealth. If you lock down that single habit, it changes the entire game.
Let's be real. One day, you're going to get another raise. And when you do, the whole world is going to be shouting at you to buy something bigger, something newer, something flashier. But keep this in the back of your mind. Income can make you look rich, for sure, but only discipline can make you wealthy. The lifestyle inflation trap doesn't actually start with a swipe of a credit card. It starts with the belief that every raise has to equal a bigger, louder lifestyle. If you can break that belief, you break the whole trap. So the next time that money hits your account, ask yourself the tough question. Are you just going to spend it to look the part? Or are you going to use it to build the ultimate wealth, the absolute freedom to live life entirely on your own terms?